know that you can prepare your child to become a multi-six-figure earner in as early as 3 years old? And I'm pretty sure you're wondering how you can do that. If so, then keep watching. Now, in case you didn't know what I stand for here at Victory Creative Learning, we have multi-sensory learning, hands-on learning, and one of the ways that Victory Creative Learning started was our STEM programs. Now, if you don't know what STEM means, you may have heard of it. So when you hear about STEM, or when you think about STEM, you may think about coding or robotics. But STEM, it's way more general, not general, but more advanced, and I'm going to talk more about the different areas of STEM, and more importantly, I'm going to talk about the benefits of STEM for not only your child, but for you. It can help them with scholarships, it can help them earn six figures, multi-six figures, and that's exactly what I'm going to talk about today. Now, okay, so STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. And you may have also heard of STEAM, S-T-E-A-M, and that stands for Science, Technology, Engineering. It has an art component added as well as mathematics. Now, my name is Kendra E. Boybeden. I am the CEO and founder of Victory Creative Learning, where we provide a personalized multisensory learning experience for children in preschool through 5th grade, as well as homeschooling students, so that they can reach their full potential and build their critical thinking skills, and so that they can advance in school, not only in school, but also in life and be successful. Now, earlier when I talked about how the STEM programs, a summer STEM program can help a child become a six-figure earner or multi-six-figure earner, I'm going to talk about that right now. Now, most of the, well, all of, when I did the research before, which was maybe about a couple of months ago, less than a year ago, I found that probably about 90% of the highest paying jobs that have the highest salaries are all in STEM fields. And these are careers that have over 100 grand, 150, 200,000, 300,000. These jobs, they all relate to STEM in some sort of way. And it's not necessarily the coding that you may think about when you hear about STEM or the robotics. It's typically the highest ones are actually in the medical field. So the medical field is part of STEM. The science, of course, you have to know science, biology to be a doctor, any type of doctor, a veterinarian. Last summer we had one of the weeks for our summer STEM camp, we had vets and pets. So we set up a little veterinarian clinic in the classroom, and the students were able to practice the different tools that a veterinarian may use. We learned about the body parts of the animal, the different systems in the animals, as well as we even set up like a little x-ray station that had actual x-rays of real animals. So what were they doing? They were practicing being a veterinarian. So whenever if they had an interest in becoming a vet, well then that's not going to be something that's foreign to them, or that's not going to be new to them, because they've already practiced those skills. Now, the highest paying jobs, that is the medical field. Mostly medical fields, doctors, those are those fields that are going to be highly profitable. Anything in the medical field, not just doctors, but also nurses as well. Medical technicians, we need these. We need all of the people, these first responders. These are very important fields, as well as highly in demand right now, and they will be in these. This is what we call the 21st century learning, or 21st century jobs that are being created, and they're going to be highly in need and whenever your child becomes an adult. And that's important that they can practice those skills now. Now, that is one way that these summer STEM camps help your child prepare for the future. Now, another thing, well, actually, another benefit is that a lot of these STEM careers, they have scholarships. They have even full scholarships. One of the programs that we participate in is through Amazon, and they provide us as curriculum, STEM curriculum for the teachers, but it also has a scholarship program set up for children, underserved children, or maybe from African American, Hispanic cultures. They have scholarships for those children so that they can go to school and be in the running, be high in the running for these high figure earners are earning careers such as medical field. I keep thinking medical field, but there's more than that. Medical technology, of course. What is it? The like computers and all of this, graphic designs, the coders, the people who troubleshoot the technology whenever there's an issue with the computers. So these are all highly in demand, high in need, as well as engineering. Of course, engineers, people who are building cars or designing cars, they are designing buildings, they're designing all of the things that we need, the technology that we use and we use to function every day, and we don't even think about that. So kids, whenever they are practicing their Legos at a young age, they are practicing being builders. I heard a parent tell me the other day that they know that their child is going to be an engineer because they love building. They love working with their hands. So we can see these skills at an early age. It doesn't just start in high school. We can mold these skills and help the children develop in their natural interests and their natural abilities as young as 3 years old. That is a benefit of your child attending a STEM camp. That's just one of the benefits. So they get to practice those skills. They get to practice being a multi six-figure earner at 3, 4, 5 years old, all the way up to 5th grade is who we serve. Now, also, a second advantage of STEM, your child participating in STEM activities, or a STEM camp program, is that they will practice being a critical thinker. They're going to build those critical thinking skills. And I thought about this morning, actually. I know that sometimes kids struggle with, now let me back up. They do not struggle with memorization because oftentimes this is what the school teaches. They want your child to pass the state exam. We're in Texas. They want them to pass the STAR. They want them to pass the test. So they are providing kids the answers. And when I say they're providing the answers, they are providing rote memorization, like can you name these facts? Can you name the states, for example? Can you name the numbers, the letters? This is all called rote memorization because you just have to spit it back. You know it, you learn it, and then you can offer it, just say it back. But that becomes an issue sometimes whenever the child becomes older because they haven't been taught how to think critically. They've been given the answer, but they haven't been taught how to find the answer, or they haven't been taught how to overcome challenges whenever they don't know the answer. They don't have the strategies to try to figure out the answer on their own. And that's a problem. So I'll give you an example. For example, math. Okay, so most kids, they can, if you give them 5 plus 3, they can add 5 plus 3, it equals 8. However they add it, if they add it on their fingers, or if they use manipulatives or blocks, or maybe they can just tell you back, okay, 5 plus 3, that's 8. But 5 plus 3 equals 8. But sometimes if you have to ask them to fill in a missing number, for example, if I draw a chart, a diagram, and at the bottom I put the number 8, and at the top I put the number 5, and then in the other box beside the 5 there's a missing number. And if I ask that child, okay, what's this missing number? Many times they're going to struggle. They struggle to figure out, well, how do I know that number? I remember when I was in school, back when I was in school, they taught us that addition is the opposite of addition is the opposite of subtraction. I was able to check my work, or we had to check our work so we could understand that, okay, I have 8 down here, I have 5 down here. Let me see, if I subtract, then I know that I have the 5 missing or the 3 missing. And that's one way. It's also called justifying your answer. Okay, you told me that 5 plus 3 is 8, but how did you know that? They need to be able to practice those skills, and they can do that through STEM. And the best part of it is that a lot of times they don't even realize that they may have a challenge, or they don't mind trying to figure out the challenge because they're using their hands. They're learning as they go. And if they build a tower and the tower falls down, then they just rebuild the tower. And they may understand the next time, okay, I used these blocks and my tower fell down, so now I need to use these different blocks so that the tower doesn't fall down. Those are critical thinking skills, and those are important. They're important also as an adult. I don't know about you, but I know that sometimes I've been at a job and I've gone through some type of on-the-job training for maybe 30 days, probably more like 2 days, and they've told me the basics. Okay, this is what you do, this is how you do this. But then whenever I was left on my own to just kind of figure it out, I may have struggled, or you may struggle because they taught you, memorization. Okay, you do this, this, and this, but they didn't teach you what to do whenever you encounter a situation that goes off the norm, which it will. It definitely will, because that's just how life is. And you never know what's going to happen. But if you don't have those, if your child has not developed those critical thinking skills, those problem solving skills, well, then when they're faced with something on the job or in real life where they have an issue, a problem that doesn't fit in the box, they're going to struggle to figure it out. And most employers, they really want someone who can work independently. They tell you this is what you need to do, and you can carry out those tasks without going back and forth. Okay, I did this, now what? I did this, now what? Because most people, they don't have time for that. They're trying to do their job, and they can't help you step by step to do your job. That's the benefit of STEM for kids. That really helps them become critical thinkers so that they can begin to problem solve and figure things out on their own. As well as, sometimes when kids take a test, they may say, okay, well, I studied everything on the study sheet, and the answer and the questions, nothing was on the study sheet, or the answers weren't on the study sheet. Well, no, because it wasn't just about you memorizing the information. You have to be able to apply the information. So you take what you know and then you apply it to the test. So it's, maybe some case studies or something like that. You have to have those critical thinking skills, and that's exactly what STEM does. All of these STEM challenges. Can you create a parachute so that the egg doesn't splat all over the floor? Those are critical thinking skills. Well, how will I do that? What do I create so that the egg doesn't drop, or so the egg doesn't break when it does drop? Critical thinking skills, you can learn those and practice those in STEM. All right, so another thing about STEM. So again, STEM is not just science, it's not just robotics, it's not just coding. STEM also involves a creative side. When we think about art, for example, our kids here at Victory Private School, they are currently working on a project where they have a box, and they're creating a habitat for their animal. They happen to be Arctic animals, and they have to create a habitat for their animal. So some people may say that it's art because we're using construction paper, we're using glue, we're using crayons, and we're using different art materials that we create the diagram. But they also know, okay, well, I have snow in the environment. What can I use that looks like snow? I want to create a waterfall. How can I create a waterfall? What type of materials? And as they're building these art projects, they are learning about the habitat. So that's one aspect of art. But then also, there's also a digital component of STEM for on the art side, if your child is more on the artsy side. And one of that is graphic design. So graphic design, that's everywhere. Everywhere you look, anytime you see an advertisement, anytime you see a billboard, anytime you see packaging, that is all about graphic design. And when kids can learn how to do that, learn how to do graphic design, that's just an added skill that they can always use that skill. That's going to be a very beneficial skill, and it can help them not just get a job, it can help them start their own business in marketing. That's what STEM does for kids. Now, the other thing, so one more thing that I'll talk about is that well, I'll hold on to that. So before I say that, I'll say this. We currently are registering for our STEM programs. We have a spring break STEM camp as well as a summer STEM camp for 4 to 11-year-olds or 12-year-old students, preschool, all the way up to 5th grade, and we have themes. Now, our spring break camp, that is focused on camping. So during the spring break camp, we are going to be building. We're going to have arts and craft. We are going to be doing the STEM activities. We have some animals. We're talking about animal habitats in there, all things camping during our spring break STEM camp. Now for summertime, we have several options that you can choose from. You can come all week, all summer, come join us all summer, or you can choose the summer if you're going on vacation, either in June or July, then your child can come join us when you're not on vacation. Some of the themes that we already have planned, we have circus, we have, let's see, what all do we have? We have the vets clinic again. We have the vets and pets. We have, let's see, what else do we have? We have the rainforest. We have some of the traditional STEM that you may think of, STEM challenges. We have several things that you can choose from. So if you'd like to know more about that, then just go to www.victorycreativelearning.com and go ahead and check out all of our different STEM programs and sign your kid up. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about concerning the benefits of your child entering into a STEM program that you may not have considered this before, but then again, you may have. Now, one thing that I really like about STEM is that it works across all abilities. If your child struggles with learning due to a reading difficulty, then they will be participating in hands-on activities. So the reading, it may or may not become an issue. It's not going to be as much as an issue as it is in school, like during actual reading class. So that is one benefit. As well as if your child is an English language learner, so maybe English is not their first language, then your child can still participate by, again, we're doing hands-on activities, so that allows them to feel like they are not any less than anyone else because they're not reading at the same level or they don't communicate at the same level. We're all doing the same activity. And what I've really found is that kids really work together and they help other kids. Usually they help other kids if they are struggling in any areas. They really just rally around them and become a great support for them. Now, it also, let's see, what else was I going to say? Okay, oh yes. So one thing that I like about STEM, it's kind of tricky, but it's kind of sneaky, I should say. It really sneaks kids into having fun while they're learning. They are learning about science. They are learning about math if we have to do measurements. They are learning about technology as we're doing research on a certain topic. They are learning about science. They are learning about all of these subjects doing usually just within one activity, and they love it. They love doing this, and many times they don't even realize that they're actually learning something because they just feel like, oh, I'm building this structure. I'm building an animal habitat. I am working with animals, stuffed animals, but they are really learning, and they are not only that, but they are developing some of those skills that they probably have learned during school. For example, science, math, reading. If they struggled in those areas, and even if they didn't struggle, all kids will experience some sort of summer learning slide or summer learning loss if they don't stay actively learning. That just happens to everyone. But whenever they participate in these STEM programs, it will keep their brain going, it will keep them engaged, it will keep them active, and it will keep them learning. So that is some of the benefits of your child attending a STEM program. Oh, and one thing else, they will meet new friends and they will be able to socialize with new friends and socialize usually in a more relaxed environment so they feel more comfortable. It's not so rigorous as far as moving from class to class and having multiple subjects that they have to concentrate on. They have these fun activities, and it's usually a theme around it, so they're learning and they build on learning as they go. If you would like to know more about our STEM programs that we offer here at Victory Creative Learning, or our inclusive private school program and homeschool hybrid, then be sure to reach out to me at www.victorycreativelearning. Thank you for watching.